What's up everyone, back for another beer review, and today I'll be reviewing yet another collaboration beer. This time between the Burial Beer Company, and they are headquartered in Asheville, North Carolina, and the Other Half Brewing Company, and they are headquartered in Brooklyn, New York, and this is their One of Us Will Have to Bury the Other. So this is a foudre aged Mexican style lager that comes in at 4.6% alcohol by volume, 15 IBUs at the time of review. I don't know exactly how old this bottle is because it does not have a bottled on date or a best by date. However, I believe it's relatively fresh, and that's because this one was sent to me by a very good friend of mine and a viewer of the channel, Curtis. So huge thanks to Curtis for this bottle. In the description box, I'll post a link to the beer mail unboxing video I did that contains all the goodies that Curtis sent my way, and he sent me 10 beers in total, 9 of which were from Burial, and I'm done with all of the hop-forward Burial beers, so now I have 4 lagers and a pastry stout, and I'm starting out with this one because it's in a clear bottle, and we know what happens with clear bottles. If they sit long enough, they can become light-struck and skunky and whatnot, so I want to get to this one a bit sooner than the rest. Now, the one thing that Curtis did say about this one is he thinks it's from earlier this year, so I'm reviewing this one in late February of 2025, so this is probably no older than 2 months old and a bit fresher. He did say he had a couple bottles of this, none of them were skunky. He also said, now, if you look, I'll turn this around so you can see a little bit better. Now, this is crystal clear. You can see my face through it. He said the first one he had was actually murky. It was like turbid. No, I shouldn't say turbid, but it was murky. It had a cloudiness to it. And then all the sediment fell out. Now, when I pour it in the glass, you won't be able to see it because it's in the bottle. But as you can see the bottle here, right? I don't know if you can see the sediment, but there's a little bit of sediment that looks like someone sprinkled salt at the bottom. I don't know if you can see that. You might be able to. Let me get my stupid face out of the way. I'm going the wrong way. But yeah, you can probably see like the salt. So that is the sediment from the beer. He said it dropped out after like a week or two, and the second one he had was crystal clear. I don't think it affected the taste as much. At least he didn't mention that. So yeah, I don't know. So a foudre-aged Mexican lager, sign me up. I don't know how this is supposed to go. There's a little bit of skunkiness, Curtis, and it was in my fridge that doesn't have a light the whole time. So, and I just brought it out. So I don't know. It's kind of interesting. Give it a pour here. Now, I don't love Mexican lagers, but a foudre-aged one from Burial and Other Half, they piqued my interest. All right, we'll do something like that. Leave the remnants at the bottom. So what does that look like? It looks like a crystal clear lager. That's exactly what it is. So yeah, it has that beautiful like straw golden color. It looks really, really clear. You can see my hand through. You can a little bit make out my face. Has about a finger to finger and a half of a bright white soap sudsy, but somewhat creamy looking head. Decent carbonation. Looks all right. Let's get a nose. Okay, I bullshit. And there's no skunk. What the? I thought it was skunky when I was pouring it. Nah, I must just. Okay, I thought it was gonna be skunky. Now, as you can see, look at all the goodies. Look at how gross that looks now. We're going to pour that in at the end and just see if it makes a difference. Curtis said he tried to get all the sludge off the bottom, and I actually turned this upside down and did a quick flip just to see if anything would happen, and nothing happened. So that's wild. Anyway, let's get a nose. Dude, this smells, and I mentioned this, I can't remember what beer. It might have been, was it Pacifico? Might have been Pacifico, where I said it kind of tasted like a Tostitos with a hint of lime kind of beer, where it had that tortilla chip kind of corny kind of malt character, but it had this limey-esque citrus character to it. Dude, that's the smell. It's tortilla chips with lime. So you don't even need to put the lime in this beer because it's already in there for you, even though I don't think so. Yeah, it's grainy, it's corny, a little bit of lime, maybe a touch of lemon. I'm really not getting any of the foudre, although a lot of times you don't because they don't age them that long in foudres. It just smells super refreshing. This smells like a beer that I would love by the beach, poolside, barbecue. It's in, the Corona-esque, clear bottle. I get what they're going for. I don't like the fact that if you were to put this in a fridge that had a light, or a beer fridge that always has the light on it, it would not be ideal. So for me, I had it in my fridge that doesn't have a light, and I thought it was going to be skunky. When I poured it, I was like, oh, it's skunky. It's not. But I'd like to see it in a brown bottle, obviously, or even cans. Anyway, let's get into it. Cheers, everybody. Thanks again to Curtis. Listen, I'm not just saying. Time out, Yosef. You're just fucking flapping your gums about dumb shit all the time. let's just rein this back. Because like I was going to start saying shit and then all of a sudden something hit the palate. And I'm like, what is going on? Vanilla. Vanilla hit the palate. A decent amount of it. But to me, it's the vanilla you get from a foudre, virgin oak, or just a straight oak barrel that had no spirit in it at all. Wow, that's fucking real cool. That is so cool. I love it. All right. So the base beer is not anything like special about it. Just do a regular review. Fuck me. Body. Higher side of light body, lower side of medium. It's 4.6%. It's a Mexican style lager. It's supposed to be really light, easy to drink, crisp, refreshing. It is. We'll say higher side of light body. Mouthfeel, crisp, clean, super refreshing, crushable. You know, moderate to touch over moderate carbonation, spritzy on the palate, effervescent. It's exactly what it should be. The taste, however, very Mexican lager-esque in terms of like, there's not a whole lot going on. I would stick by that tortilla chip with a little bit of lime character. So like if you had a bag of Tostitos, hint of lime, it's like somebody soaked those in beer. And that's what I'm tasting. Because that's from front to back. I don't even need to break this down front to back. It's lime riding underneath like a tortilla chip, a corny tortilla chip that isn't super like over the top in terms of flavor output. Jeez, what am I, a robot? Finish is dry, quite dry, mild bitterness. But the beauty about this is on the finish, you get the foudre. I'm not getting like an oak tannin kind of vibe. I'm getting a soft vanilla. And it's so cool because it just changes this beer. It doesn't make it like the best fucking Mexican lager of all time or anything. I don't think so. But what it does is it breaks up the monotony of just a regular old Mexican style lager, which isn't one of my favorite. Like I can drink them, they're fine. Bohemia is probably my jam. I like the Pacifico. I like the darker ones like Negra, Modelo, things of that nature. But like your Coronas of the world, your Dos Equis and everything, they're all right. They're okay, like whatever, you know? But this, I could drink a lot of. Can't taste the alcohol, 4.6%. This is a fun take on a Mexican style lager. Now, you know what? I'll just rate it first. The pros to this one, that vanilla is really unique. I think they pretty much nailed the higher side of light body. The mouthfeel's appropriate. It's not too flavorful. They're not trying to set a new standard here because the point of a Mexican style lager is to be able to drink a bunch of them on a beach or something, you know? Like, again, you want them to be quaffable, sub 5%. You just want to take them down. I could take this one down. The beauty about it, though, is it has that pop of vanilla that kind of changes the trajectory of this one when you're tasting it. Because like I said, I was going to start saying, oh, whatever, and then all of a sudden the vanilla hit, and I was like, wow, I need to stop flapping my gums. And yeah, I think this is a fun take on a Mexican-style lager, plain and simple. I've had other foudre-aged lagers, like rice lagers and just like regular lagers, Helles lagers, things of that nature. I think it works really well with this because I think the flavors are light enough where like you get that foudre with the vanilla. So anyway, we'll do a rating and then I'll pour the rest in and see what I think about it with the rest poured in. But I'm going to give one of us will have to bury the other from Other Half and from Burial and Other Half. I'm going to give this a high 4 out of 5. I'm going to go 4.1. I think this is fun. This is a fun fucking beer. It's not amazing. It's not blowing me away, but it's fun. And beer's supposed to be fun, and this is fun. End of story. All right, let's pour the rest of this in. Oh, that shit is gross. That shit is gross. Maybe it'll make it taste a little bit different. I have no fucking idea. All right, now, as you can see, remember what the beer looked like before? Now look at it. It looks like a fucking old school hazy IPA. Like it really does. It has that like honey orange color. It's murky. It's turbid. You can't see through it. All right, let's see. I'm gonna smell it. Nothing really changed. Let's get a taste. Cheers. I think it upped the body a little bit. Maybe it went from like higher side of light to lower side of medium. No, nothing else. I mean, it's still substantial. This is bone dry. Very mild bitterness. Maybe it like increased the dryness a little bit. I'm getting like a little bit of, I pour that in, hang on, I'm fucking bullshitting. It's a little bit of a slight oak tannin kind of dryness now. So I'm getting a little bit more of the foudre with the goodies poured in. Do I like it a little bit more? I think I like about the same. It's just slightly different. Yeah, it's all right. It's fucking 4.1 out of 1. It's pretty damn good. Not setting a new standard, but it is different enough where like I'd recommend you trying this out at some point. Price and availability, $13. I think it was a 4-pack. I think it was $13 a 4-pack. And you're talking now $3.25 a bottle. Yeah, that's way more than a Corona or a Dos Equis or something. But it's Asian foudres. It's from a craft brewery. I think it's well worth checking it out if you're in and around the Asheville, North Carolina area, or go to availability. Availability is that Burial gets distro. I think Curtis said to like a handful of states like in the South. I think like North Carolina, maybe South Carolina, Georgia, maybe even Tennessee. But they also have where you can order beer from the website and have it shipped to your state and to your house. But there's only a certain amount of states. New York State is definitely one of them. Ohio's one of them. I don't know the rest, so go check out their website if you're curious about getting their beer. Also, Curtis mentioned that like if you sign up for their newsletter or like just for the emails from them, they send out like special codes for like free shipping or like $10 flat rate shipping. You have to order a certain amount, but they do it like every once in a while. So go check that out if that interests you and you want to get Burial in your life. This is really cool. Thanks again to Curtis for this one. Like when I opened up the package and I saw like 4 hop forward beers and then 4 lagers and a pastry stout, I was really happy because I get a chance to try a bunch of stuff from Burial. This is a lot of fun. This is a fun beer, and beer's supposed to be fun, and this is the perfect example of it. It's just a Mexican-style lager aged in a foudre, but that foudre adds enough characteristics and enough variety to the beer where it's like it doesn't drink like just a regular base beer. It actually has more kind of character to it, and that's fun. It makes it fun. So anyway, I'm going to shut this one down, 4.6%. You can't taste it. Yeah, anyway, thanks again, Curtis. Thanks to everybody. If you've had this one before, please post in the comment section. Until the next one. Cheers.